Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica. In today's video, I'm going to give you some recommendations for the upcoming readathon. So as we know, I am Team Pirate, along with my lovely co-host April from Happily Ever April. And this whole readathon was put together by Crystal from Books Ever After. I'll link their channels down below, but I want to give you some recommendations just in case you needed a little extra help finding something. So I'm going to give you mostly pirate romances because I'm Team Pirate. But I will give you like one or two for the others, but I really just wanted to give you pirate recommendations, so here we are. So the first one I really think you should read if you haven't read it, and if you have read it, maybe do a reread. And it is Gentle Rogue by Johanna Lindsey. This is in the Mallory Anderson series. This one is the third book, and this one is about Georgina. She went to England to find her fiance, who she didn't know had another woman on the side. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And she meets our hero James, and I use the term hero loosely because he's a bit of a villain in this a little bit, but I absolutely love him. So she meets him in a pub in the second book, and he realizes really quickly that she's a woman. Well, come on the third book, she has to get back to America, and her family owns a shipping company, but they don't know that she had left America. So she decides to sneak onto a ship to come home. And she ends up pretending to be a cabin boy on James Mallory's ship. Now, he's kind of a retired pirate a little bit, so there is some piratey stuff in here, but it's not like it's new. So James Mallory and her brothers are not on good terms. They do not like each other, and he figures out real quick that the new cabin boy is the girl who just dressed up as a boy in the pub that he met. And so he does everything he can to tempt her, and it is so much fun. This was like the Great Seducer meets the feisty heroine. I loved it. It was fantastic. The banter, it had me laughing. I absolutely loved my time in this. You have the on the sea trope and the forced proximity. There was one point where she was supposed to give him a bath, and he knew at this point. And I mean, it was naughty. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved this book. The banter was fantastic. The setting, the character growth, 100% you should be reading this one. And of course, if I'm going to recommend a Gentle Rogue, I have to recommend To Ravish a Rogue by C.M. Nakasa. This is a monster pirate romance based upon a Gentle Rogue. And when I originally read Gentle Rogue in 2024, I literally, right after that, I read To Ravish a Rogue. So I was like, wait a minute. And honestly, that was the best way to do it, because I probably would not have understood how great To Ravish a Rogue was if I hadn't actually read A Gentle Rogue first and then immediately went into To Ravish a Rogue. So the plot of To Ravish a Rogue is very much like Gentle Rogue, obviously, where our heroine is a stowaway on the boat because she needs to get home, right? And he figures out that she's a woman, right? And so he does things to get her go. But this time, they're sea monsters. And it's fantastic. And I highly recommend that one. So if you really want a good dual time, read A Gentle Rogue and then read To Ravish a Rogue. You will not regret that one. I did not at all. I loved my time in both worlds. And it was a lot of fun to see the similarities in both of them. So do yourself a favor and do those two. Read those two. So, and next one that I really think you should read is An Improper Proposal by Patricia Cabot. I almost said May Cabot because it is actually May Cabot. This is her pen name. And this one is all adventure with pirates. So Peyton is a girl pirate. She does not swim, she does not cry, and she wants to be a ship captain. She's actually very, very good at this. But her brothers do not think she should be a ship captain. They want her to be a lady, but she's fighting that. She also has a crush on Connor Drake, who is our hero, and he works for her brother's shipping company, and Connor is her brother's best friend. Anyway, she's been in love with him since she was 14 years old. He becomes a new baronet, so he's a gentleman pirate. He decides to try and retire because he used to have this fiance, but then something happens, and then he decides to leave for the Caribbean with his fiance who he was supposed to marry. Peyton decides to go after him to protect Connor because she finds something out, and she does everything in her power to protect Connor. And they end up in a hole together and stuff, and they end up marooned on an island together. And oh my gosh, this book is everything. I loved it. It was so much fun. You had the romance, you had the pirates, you had the pirate battle. There was a pirate battle in it. You did not have a heroine in distress. She actually saved the hero. I just absolutely love this book. I gave 4.5 stars. I highly recommend it. It's a good one to read. Now, if you can handle dark romance, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this because I think everybody's touched to this one to death, it would be Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. This one is about Bennett Sharp. She is a pirate, and she is a daughter of a pirate, and she only has one true fear, and that's her husband Priest, for good reasons. He's been hunting her for some time, but also Ashley Cutler, who is a naval captain, has also been hunting her. So this one is very well written. It's very well, the characterization is really well done. The character growth is really good. If you can handle the trigger warnings, and I am going to tell you the trigger warnings. It's essay on page, suicide, grief over death of a loved one, kidnapping, torture, death, gore, slavery, dismemberment, and infertility. That's a lot of triggers, but this is Pam Godwin we're talking about. So if you can handle her, and you haven't read this yet, you should absolutely pick this one up. Now, the last one I want to talk about that's piratey is The Gift by Julie Gardwood. This one is not so dark, but it is so much fun. So this one, Nathan is our nobleman. He's a pirate and he's a spy. And Sarah is oblivious to everything around her. And she's a terrible cook. And her parcels are very dangerous to a person's health. We find out why in this book. So Sarah and Nathan were married when she was 4 and he was 14 by the king, and it was basically to stop a dispute, right? Sarah's family is absolutely horrible. She really wants to get out of her family. There's just a whole thing with her family, but they're also keeping her away from Nathan, who is technically her husband. And so he decides he's going to kidnap her. But when he goes to kidnap her, she's already sneaking out the window. So he kind of finds it easy to kidnap her because she's literally walking down the street completely oblivious that these people were going to try and hurt her, a guy who was a pickpocket and stuff. And Nathan is like taking care of all these villains, and she's just like la 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 la. Anyway, it is really funny. I absolutely love this book. It made me laugh. I gave it 5 stars. It was fantastic. It was such a good time. I highly recommend it. I'm going to give you a couple of titles for each of these. So ones that I think would be good for this readathon. Even though I am not on their team, I'm being kind, but I'm not going to talk about them as a whole. But I've rated them very high if they're on this list. So just know that. So the first team I'm going to talk about is Team Time Travel, and the books that I highly recommend that you check out is Forever His by Shelley Thacker. She has this series that she has, and I'm obviously, all these will be linked down below. This series does have some other time travel books in it too. So, but the one I read was Forever His, and it was really good. I enjoyed that one. Then A Knight in Shining Armor by Jude Devereaux. Fantastic. That one I got on Hoopla, so it was a good time. A Stitch in Time by Kelly Armstrong. That's a whole series, and the whole series is time travel, and it was really well done. I enjoyed my time in that series. Then Once Upon a Time Travel by Soraya Wilson. So moving on to Cinder retellings. I only have one because I'm not the biggest fan of Cinder retellings, and it is An Offer from a Gentleman. I absolutely love that book so much. So that is Benedict's book, and honestly, if you read it now, you'll be prepared for when Bridgerton comes in next year. So there you go. And then Governess Romance. I have a couple. So Married by Morning, Lisa Kleypas. Dodger is the best fairy tale. This one is Leo and Catherine's book. Love that one. A Night Like This by Julia Quinn. This is in the Smythe Smiths series, which that series is solid. I absolutely love that series. And then The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. It's Tessa Dare. You know what you're gonna get with Tessa Dare, and she's fantastic. And then Devil's Bride by Stephanie Lawrence. That one is so good. I absolutely love that one. Or if you want to go really old school, you could go Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which is one of my favorite books of all time. So So those are some of the books that you could definitely read for the Aftterathon. I hope you do. Let me know if this video was helpful. If you have any recommendations for pirate books for me, I would love to check those out as well. Or even if you have a time travel book or a governess book or even a Cinderella retelling book, I will check those out as well. So anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. And if you made this far in this video, please leave me a parrot emoji because Team Pirate and I've been using the pirate flag. So leave me a parrot emoji. Until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.